Cat bro, for this plastic water bottle, bro. Alexis, how we doing, bro?
I'm good, bro. Thank you. Yeah. So my question is, how do I go about getting my family on self-improvement, and specifically the women in my family? Because I can teach my grandpa everything I know. I can teach my little cousin who's a boy everything I know. But it's more like I'm not too worried about my grandma. My grandma's actually kind of based. She was like super ahead on like the whole plastic shit. Like I remember when I was like 10 years old, she'd be like, "Don't microwave the plastics." I'd be like, "Shut up! I want my food." It's more like my mom, my aunts, and more specifically, I'm worried about my little sister. And I just wanted to know, have you pointed your mom and your sister or even your girlfriend towards any specific influencers or authority figures, so that they could learn about self-improvement from like a feminine aspect? Because like, you know, I like, it would be awesome if I could link them your videos, you feel me, but it wouldn't resonate on the same level. Because I feel like, you know, they're like kind of living sad lives. They're like kind of like what's that one quote? They're begging to be led or whatever. And specifically, they're begging to be feminine. I feel like they just have had to embrace more masculine roles because of like the dichotomy of society. Like my mom raised me by herself. I didn't grow up without my dad. And then with my sister, she had my sister with another man, but they never got married, and they're co-parenting because they split up. And then my aunt is in a depolarized relationship because her husband's like top 10 biggest examples of Jeffrey, bro. Like every time I would watch your intro, that man would just right into my mind. Yeah, so I just want to put them in a position where they can self-improve and be more feminine and just like, you know, make them more fulfilled as women.
Fantastic question. It really does say a lot about your character for asking this as well. How do you get your family members, firstly, onto self-improvement, and how do you get the women of your family onto more of the feminine self-improvement, which is not the same as mine? To date, I haven't really found a good feminine self-improvement YouTuber. There's female self-improvement YouTubers, but they are masculine. So it's dangerous to, like, just because they're a woman, to send them over. There is some feminine self-improvement YouTubers, and I've seen them. The issue is that their values are questionable. They might be doing some of the habits, but they also are very modern in some ways. I'll leave it there. That's it. So I would be like, for example, my girl found one, and she found, like, literally, she was so embarrassed when I ended up asking, like, who is it? And, you know, that's because I said, like, oh, I'll send her a DM and you can be friends with her. And she's like, no, but like, this girl comes, like, she starts her videos and she's doing like a little dance every time. She's like, hello, Earthlings, and today we're going to meditate. And she's there with her friends and they start dancing, and it's cute, it's feminine, it's awesome and everything. And then I decided to watch more of her videos because I wanted to see the impact. She's talking a lot about like sex, and here she is with male friends. And I said to my girl, I know that, you know, it seems positive to have this female to look up to, but you automatically become like the person that you consume, and I don't want you to consume her anymore. And she understood. So still haven't found anyone. So what I would say, for the self-improvement things specifically, let's say diet and health, with more of the older women, traditional women, you know, mothers and everything, I found lying about doctors to be very effective. I know lying's not a good trait, but like just telling my mother, like, oh yeah, all of the doctors online have been saying this. Suddenly, this is the only thing that she believes me in. So when I talk about butter, I've mentioned butter to her like 20 times. She always buys the rapeseed oil butter, like the fake thing and everything. And I've mentioned, wait, no, we need to get the full fat one and everything. The moment I one time said, oh, you know, all the doctors online are talking about this one's dangerous. She went, huh? Like, yeah. She's like, she's asking me, okay, Dr. Nick, she's taking it serious. Now we only have full fat butter in the home, no seed oils or anything. So lying is effective. So, but it's not actually lying, because there is actually a bunch of doctors who are talking about this stuff, you know, like the low fat movement, all a scam and everything. So that works with women like my mother, who, for example, won't really listen to someone like me, even though I've made good points. You know, I've told her before, you're listening to your fat doctor. I can run a 10K. He can't even run like 1K. I've had a 6-pack for 3 years straight. Your doctor's 25% body fat. You should listen to. But it's like older people are stuck in like the whole like, no, but it's the doctor. It's the doctor. So just saying, oh yeah, all the doctors do this. they've suggested this. So, for example, the next thing I can say to my mother is, oh yeah, all the doctors online are saying that the first thing you should do when you wake up is get direct morning sunlight. Because the thing is, it is pretty true, right? But if I said it to her, and the circadian rhythm and everything, and she'll just ignore what I'm saying. But all the doctors, and suddenly she's got her attention's like dopamine spiked. So that's what I'd go with. Basic self-improvement. I do stuff like that. When it comes to being more feminine, honestly, that's something that I've not branched into for the women in my life. What I would say, if, for example, a woman was going to ask me, how do I be more feminine? Easiest answer is find a masculine man. Let's say you're not going to do that. Second easiest answer, I'd probably start with learning and understanding. I'd probably start with finding a good resource. In some ways, you can read about it in The Way of the Superior Man. Data has another book called Dear Lover. That could work. It depends. Then it's the whole case of like, would your mother read like a book that you know what I mean?
Like a whole different thing.
The easiest way is like you find them a masculine man who, you know what I mean? It's impractical at that point. Then the second way is that you be that masculine man in the house, as I'm seeing you become right now. You're providing, you're working hard, and you're showing leadership. One thing that I've found, which no one really speaks about, is what we're learning in The Way of the Superior Man is actually how we should treat all women in our lives, even our mothers. Now, your interactions with women don't have to be sexually polarized. You want it to be with the woman that you're in love with and everything. But with the women in your life, like your sister, like your mother, you still want to like essentially game them in the exact same way that The Way of the Superior Man is telling you. For example, stay with her intensity to a point. Tolerating her leads to resenting her. These chapters which talk about like, a woman's changing emotions, we do this for the girls that we're dating. And then when our mother shows us some kind of emotion, we think that she's a bit crazy and annoying. There's another family argument or something. But when you think about it, it's like, you should handle that exactly the same way that you would the girl that you're dating, right? So it's the exact same way. And let's say with presents, for example, the best thing that you can do with a woman is give her your presents and also not be around when you can't be present. Exact same thing with your mother, with your sister. They're not asking for your advice. Oftentimes they don't want your advice. They usually just want you to listen to them and kind of change nothing about them in the interaction. And then silently in the background, formulate a plan of action to get them to where they need to be. So, action steps. You consider reading Dear Lover yourself, because if you understood feminine energy more, I reckon that might be helpful, and that might be something that it'd be super valuable for you to post, and even I'd want to learn from that as well. 2, keep going on the route that you are. Become more masculine, provide more, work super hard, develop your character. 3, follow the rules of The Way of the Superior Man when you interact with these women, especially from chapters 2. Let me just see. Let me tell you which exact ones would really help you here. So page 66, don't analyze your woman. Page 69, don't suggest that a woman fix her own emotional problem. Even page 74, 77, stay with her intensity to a point. Don't force the feminine to make decisions. And 108, what she wants is not what she says. 112, her complaint is content free.
I don't know why I never thought about applying this the women in my life in terms of like platonic relationships, because I got this book specifically to fix my relationship in terms of like the depolarization, and then we broke up. So I was just like, I was actually talking to Elias about this earlier today. I was like, yeah, I skipped the whole section about love because I'm not interested in a relationship right now. But it's just like, duh, stupid, like use that shit on your family, bro.
Exactly. I wouldn't even say that's stupid, because honestly, through a lot of my life, I haven't followed principles like that either. So it's not obvious because you do get it for the women that you're dating, and then you don't realize that the exact same rule applies to your family. So I think the last one I pointed out there, the last two, sorry, what she wants is not what she says. Her complaint is content free. I can imagine those two being very powerful because I don't know your family dynamics, but I can imagine what you want to avoid is anything that starts to hinder your relationship with them. Let's say, you know, your mother nags or complains every now and then. Let's say every now and then there's some family arguments. Those things will really kind of put a backtrack on your goal here, only if you're not following these principles. So the next time your mother complains, you should treat that just like how you would if your girl complained, which is to, in a rude way, it's like not take it seriously at all. To realize that her complaint is content free. She's not complaining about your shoes or the thing that, you know, the same topic that she keeps complaining about. She's complaining because no one's hugged her for like 3 weeks. That's why. It's not because you left this cup out. She doesn't actually care about the cup. You know, a woman who's totally in love does not give a fuck about the cup or the muddy floors at all. She'll smile and like dance and sing as she like cleans it up. It's usually always to do with love. So, actionable, super actionable step. Hug each one of these women every single day. Does that sound like this? Something you can do?
Yeah, I don't live with my mom, but every time I see her, I'll make sure presence and affection and being masculine around them.
Yeah. You don't live.
So much, Hamza.
You're welcome. You don't live with your mother, so I'll change it to
My grandma.
every day. Send your mother a picture of you. There you go. Quick little selfie. Working hard. How are you, bro? She's gonna smile. Oh, my little son. So, you know what I mean? It's like that's all it takes to make a woman happy, man. How are we failing as sons, bro? It takes like 5 minutes to make him smile, bro. Just take 20 selfies right now and batch send them in the next few days. Schedule them, bro. Yeah, I do that, man. Every day, one bit of affection, physical if possible, if you don't live with them. A nice little message. I think mothers really appreciate like a selfie from their son and like, you know, an update of your life. Every day, reading this book, what are you doing? Easy.
Thank you, bro. Every time we have a conversation, it's just like decades of my life, just like of experience just downloaded into my